This is everybody's day. This is everybody's day. See, all of you are gathered around the labors of a man. Ayo Babalola is everybody's father. Some of you don't pray. Some of you don't fast. Some of you have not found the way of holiness. You have not found the path of wasting. And you claim that you're Ayo Babalola. What it means is that what you are trapped in the spirit will not be available to that generation that does not live like he lived. Late last year, a few fathers in the CNS movement had a convention in Osogbo, and then they gave me a topic: my encounters with Moses Odimolade. I said, why not go to that kind of meeting and teach? But God gave me grace. I had about 3 hours and I laid it in scriptures that, you see, Baba did not take his mantle to heaven. When his mantle is fully possessed, somebody who is anointed to be a sound priest will release a cry and oppression will break. Will release a cry and men, physical wicked men, will run. We've heard stories that there was a time his boys were picked and locked up in prison somewhere around the nation, and then he stood on the other side of the road and began to sing. It was the song that the people who locked them up, their hearts were pricked and they opened the door and released these guys. What was the crime? They went to preach in the town. Some people attacked them. His boys were trying to say, what? He said, no, stand behind, stand behind. And then he asked the Lord of the cherubims and the seraphims to show up. It was a cheap prayer. And then the assailants looked at themselves and took themselves out. So they now said, they charmed these people. They charmed them. They charmed them. I said in that meeting that they don't need these dimensions in heaven. The civilization of heaven is a perfect civilization. If you are anointed in the earth, they don't need your anointing to compute the circuitry of divine expressions. It's complete. We need your anointing here. It means when Jesus calls you home, after you have lived long, that all this your back here, you are even tired of coloring it again. You have served God in health. When he calls you home, you will leave that grace in the earth, and other men will add it to what they have. That after a while, when you become more serious with God, he will open the gate of covenants to you, and cities, territories can become secured. Destinies can be aligned permanently because you have entered into that dimension with God. So covenants of acknowledged fathers. Covenants of acknowledged fathers. I shared during the week from 1 Samuel chapter 7 verse 9. So we're in 8, right? 8 is the offering of sacrifices. We must know how to mix sacrifice. Sacrifice is not always financial. It's not always material. There are many things that can be sacrificed, and one of the things that everybody has is the sacrifice of convenience. The sacrifice of convenience. Because of this victory that you want to happen, because of this turnaround that you are seeking, can God wake you up around 4:30? That time breeze used to blow. Even if you were having nightmares before, the nightmares most times go away around that time. Everybody's giving like a few hours to sleep into the day. Can God wake you up at that time and say, pray now? Sacrifice. Can God remove your shoe? Not give it out. That you should hold your shoe and use your feet to walk around Lautech, to take the land for Jesus. That kind of walk, the downside is not that your leg will choke a stone. The downside is that people will be wondering, Bro Isaac, is he okay? They will not call the rest of the protocol members to check that. Wow. When last did you see? Say you just left church. Ha. What I pay? You can be mocked, you can be spoken against, but that's how we win.